Alright, so today I have a stihl b86 that I'm replacing the carburetor on. This carburetor is worked like a dog ever since I bought this thing. It worked pretty decent, but it would kind of flood itself out. And it's a stihl, but it's called a Zama, made in China. Go figure. I didn't take this out to check the bowl to see what's going on there. Might be where my problem's at. It also has the set so you can tune it on the jets. The only thing is it takes a special tool, which is like $6. I need to do a tune-up on this thing anyway. It's like going through it. I need a new bubble, all that jazz. So I ordered this Simperac carburetor maintenance kit. It is made in China too, go figure. And it is b86 carb, b86 blower part. What I like about this is it cost me $19 shipped to the house. Comes with extra hose, comes with the filter, which honestly I think this filter's a better filter probably, but I don't know. But at least it comes with one. Comes with an extra bubble, an extra inline filter for inside the tank, extra gaskets, a cheapo spark plug. I'm going to leave mine in, mine looks good. So spark plug number on that is CMR6H. And then here's the carburetor, it's identical. You can see it's pretty identical. Here's the difference though. These jets right here that you can adjust, you can use a Phillips, a small Phillips or a small flathead for your low and high. And that is pretty cool. And you got your set for your idle here. And your choke, obviously, that's your, But yeah, new bubble on it, all ready to go. It's got high reviews. And it doesn't say stihl at the bottom, but it is China, and they're both China, so I can't imagine that'd make much of a difference. The other thing is, whenever you're doing this, if you got to replace your pull rope, now's the time to do it. It takes a I think it was a T27, a flathead, and you can pretty much take these 3 bolts out off of that. You take your 2 nuts that hold your carburetor on after you take your filter off and pull your carburetor out. However, the linkage going to your trigger right here, so you got to take these off, these 3 or 4 27s off to pull this apparatus off so you can get your linkage loose. Otherwise you can't get your carb off your studs. But overall, not a bad little project, pretty easy, and we'll see how this is going to work. But I think it'll work just nice and dandy. Gaskets, one's got your holes in it, that one goes on the head, and then the other one's just bare, doesn't have holes in it. That's the one for your air intake, that's right here. That's what this nipple's for. It's your vacuum, and then your filter housing. It's really simple. I just used the stock hoses. My hoses are good, my filter's good in my tank, so I didn't have to go to doing that, but that wouldn't be a big thing. And your linkage goes on just like this. If you took it off, this is how it's going to go back on. It goes on the inside of the throttle body there, and then of the carb there, and then on the outside, basically just like that. So real simple. And then we'll put this back on. And filters there, make sure everything's clean. And there we go. And we got our just 2 little nuts here. I'm just going to torque them down decently tight, but nothing crazy, just, get them nice and snug. I don't know the torque specs, I don't really care. So, and I can't remember what size this was. 5/16. That's what size these are. And just hand tighten them. And this is another thing don't be stupid about. kind of rotate it. Get it nice. Remember, you got gaskets on there that are new, so, or I put both new on. So I want it nice and snug. I have a feeling that that's snug enough. So whatever you do, if you have to, you can always go back and tighten them back again. I don't know how strong those studs are, but I wouldn't want to be putting a ton of force on it. So there's that. Now this filter here is an HD2 stihl filter. I think this is a better filter, but it's got oil in it and everything, so I'm going to replace it with the other, and I might be able to clean. I could probably clean this one and reuse it, because I think this could be a reusable filter. I'm not positive about that yet, but I'm going to put in the new one because there's no oil in it. So here's the new one, and you just stick it in like that. Put your filter housing over it, and voila. Now, before I get too far ahead, this actually goes back up and just pops on over everything. Screw it down with the Torx that are provided. Make sure your choke thing's in line here. Stop sensor thing. There you go, just finagle with it a little bit, should go right in. Now the smaller ones they're smaller, a little smaller than the other Torx. They're all the same size, they're 27 T27s, but the smaller 4 go in the handle, and then the other 3 go onto the pull start against the flywheel and everything. Oops, and here I am putting the wrong one in. I just wanted to do a quick tutorial on this. Do it themselves. I mean, it's a cheap fix, so if you took this to a place to have it done, my guess is they'd charge you, I don't even know, it might be like $100 and some bucks, or $100, 75 maybe, who knows, plus parts. Usually small engine repair shops now around here are $80 an hour. And your spark plug boot comes off right there. If you need to check that, it's easy enough. Same thing when you put your spark plug back in your head, put it in by hand first, or with the socket by hand, so you don't strip something out. And go back on, make sure you watch your stop. It's got a kind of a micro switch in there, but you want to make sure your trigger moves freely with your throttle, and make sure that this is working properly. This is stop, basically floods it out. Or actually no, this is where you can hold your idle without holding the, and then this one down here floods it out. So with that switch, kill switch. So basically that's, if you go down, this hits that kill switch, stops the motor. If you go up, hold your trigger back. That's how it works. So, but yeah, don't bind that. I just put 2 bolts, or two of them back in, just making sure that nothing was binding here, because it's easy to break a tab off there if you're not careful. And then just nice and snug. Don't overdo those, you'll break those easy. So, I know a lot of people that have broke stuff.
I'm one.
Because they over tighten things. So just take your time. There's no rush. Alright, so now, like I said earlier, this is your flywheel, and this is your, make sure everything's good there. And you know, if you need to replace your line, now's the time to do it. Otherwise you just take off 3 bolts and do it again. I'm trying to make this a real simple, quick video, so we'll see how simple and quick I can make it, but there you go. I'm gonna stick those back on, those 3 bolts back in, snug them down, put some nice fresh fuel in it, and mixed, obviously, fuel, and start her up and let her rip. And prime it up, and we'll have to see if we have to adjust the, there she goes. You can see the fuel's getting in there. Push on it pretty good because she was, there you go. Set choke. I think my stop on my is good on my throttle, but we'll see.